Hello and welcome to the channel. The 23-24 EFL Championship is broken, and I did think that was the case because for weeks and weeks and weeks now we've realised that 4 teams are just pissing the league simultaneously, but it's a little bit more intricately broken than I thought it was, so stick with me and we'll discuss what's happening at the top, what's happening at the bottom, and ultimately what this all could mean towards the end of the season. But first, subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Anyway, we've got to start from the top, and it's very weird because we've got all of the relegated teams from last season that are crushing it. More than 2 points per game. I think Southampton are on precisely 2 points per game right now, with Ipswich, who were promoted from League One last season, doing exactly the same thing. And having 4 teams on 2+ points per game is absolutely insane. So I had a quick look through previous championship seasons, and I noticed some very weird fun facts. In 21-22, no single team hit 2 points per game. The same applied for many, many, many seasons where not even first place would hit 92 points because the Championship is not an easy league. It normally isn't, except this season we seem to have made it so. And another weird example, because I kept looking back and I kept thinking, what is the weirdest little Championship fact that I can notice right now? In 2007-2008, Leeds United would already have more points than third place. If this Leeds United side were put into 2007-8, they'd already be promoted, with 10 games left of the season. And in addition to that, the highest level of unpromoted points until now is Sunderland on 90 points in the 97-98 season. That statistic is nearly older than I am. And at this rate, 4 teams are going to hit points greater than 90. This division is bonkers, and I love it sometimes, but also I deeply hate the fact that I'm absolutely terrified of the fact that we probably won't go up at this point. I'm scared. At this rate, 2 teams are set to break the record of 90 points without getting promotion. Of course, we could still see sides drop off. Southampton potentially got a little stumble in front of them because they've got a lot of difficult games coming. Leicester are mid sort of struggly, stumbly bit. Ipswich seem to just keep doing the job. It's getting a little bit infuriating now. But the issue is it's not just a bonkers fight at the top of the division, there is also a similarly crazy battle at the bottom. And you might not have noticed, because I accept that the majority of my audience is Leeds fans or people that are a little bit curious from other sides in the Championship. If that's you, subscribe, stick around. I'll be talking more Championship-y stuff soon. But the entire bottom half, and I'm not counting Rotherham here, is within 7 points of the relegation zone. 13th place is only 7 points higher than 22nd, which is how batshit this division is at the minute. Everyone is so level in different sort of structured areas. So you've got your top of the table taking all of the points from lower down, who are taking points off each other, and it leads to everything being so very flat until you get to Rotherham, who are on like 19 points or something stupid like that. And furthermore, there's a total of 2 points separating 16th place and 23rd. And there's very few games in hand for absolutely anyone. Of course, there is the occasional missed game of football like we saw last night, where Southampton weren't able to play against Preston because a building next to their stadium got burned down. But the fact that there are so few games in hand mean that it's level on merit. It's not level on the fact that some teams just haven't played their football games. Everyone is so consistently even this season that it becomes almost impossible to predict, and it means that every single one of those teams are going to fight like hell for the rest of the season. By this point, 10 matches left, you normally have this bank of clubs from like 10th to 16th or 17th that aren't going to get relegated, they're not going to get promoted, they've got sod all to play for, and they're just sort of sat there chugging along, churning through their matches. That doesn't exist this season. Because you have that top 4 who are all fighting every single week to try and get the points, because if they don't, a single slip-up is going to stop them from getting promoted. You got 16th all the way down to 23rd, let's be honest. Again, sorry, Rotherham, but you're not fighting for anything at this point. Again, all fighting for every single point, because that could make such a difference in the relegation battle, where you've got 8 sides all looking to not go down quite desperately. And then you've got a nice little middle pack where you've got to fight for the playoffs, and there's like 2 or 3 sides that don't have to care anymore, and that is so rare to see. And since every single team is going to fight like hell, it makes everything so unpredictable. Leicester, until their most recent game, had lost 3 on the bounce. Southampton are dropping points left, right, and centre. Leeds' performances are looking stumbly from time to time, and Ipswich have to keep pulling out last-minute winners. And it would take an absolute moron to make predictions for the rest of the season. So I don't know why I scripted this bit, but you're about to see me look like an idiot. You can hold me to these at the end of the season, and I will say that I admitted that it was very stupid to make predictions. But sod it, I'm going to go for it anyway. I think the relegated sides this season will be Rotherham, there'll be Stoke, and there will be Blackburn. Don't know why I've specifically picked Blackburn. I think it's a side that have been on absolutely dire form for a while now. It's looking like Sammy Schmodix's insane form from the start of the season has sort of eased off a little bit. Stoke look like a decent enough side that have a good pep talk in them, as we saw when Leeds played against them the other night. But I don't think that's going to be enough to sustain the results that they need. And Rotherham, again, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm dogging on Rotherham a little bit, but you can't have this few points and imagine that you might potentially stay in the Championship. They're going down this season. They'll inevitably come up next season. That's what it takes to be a South Yorkshire club. Looking at you, Rotherham, Barnsley, that's just what you sort of do. 4th, 5th, and 6th. I've included 4th here because I think Southampton are having a big old stumble. They've got a lot of difficult games left to come, and I think it's going to be a bit hard for them to get back into the automatic promotion fight. Norwich City, I think, are going to force their way into the playoffs because Hull are having a difficult moment right now, and I've gone with West Brom to also go into the playoffs, which means that there is one playoff spot left for 3rd place for whoever doesn't make it into the automatic playoff positions. And I'm going to say automatic promotion, in my opinion, is going to go to Leeds and Ipswich. Leicester City, yes, have been good. Fantastic all the way throughout the season. They have been an incredible side. But recently they've shown that mentally they're a little bit vulnerable. Mentally, they've got a little bit of weakness. When things get tough for them, they very rarely have it in them to build back into it. If they can take control of the match early, fantastic. They're looking fine. If they're overly pressured and if sides cause them problems, they don't have that Ipswich thing of being able to fight their way through and get a last-minute winner. They don't have that Leeds thing of, we'll stick with the game plan and it will work, as we saw with Leicester against Leeds United. I think Leicester are going to be the side that struggle, trip up, and fall down into the playoff positions. And having a look at the playoffs, it's going to be impossible to decide who's going to do that. I think Leicester potentially crumble under the pressure, maybe get beaten by a West Brom. Southampton, I think, should beat Norwich City. Maybe a Southampton versus West Brom playoff final, and in that, I've got no idea who wins. Complete stab in the dark, I'll go with West Brom. But ultimately, I want to know what you think, both about this championship season so far, because it's been absolute madness, about what's going to happen at the end of the season, playoffs, promotion, relegation. Just let me know what your predictions are. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you later. So many of those predictions are going to be wrong. So many.